Enter your name and the USN in chat window for the attendance. Are you there? Okay. So, in continuation of the previous session about the interpretation in report writing and the inference to be drawn with respect to your research work, we have seen some of the advantages of those interpretation uh, and so on. So, the current now we are going to uh, concentrate on precautions in interpretation. This is very important topic while discussing, especially when you are drawing the inference from your the outcome of your research with respect to the hypothesis, with respect to the different type of the experiments. Now you need to be understood. So some of the preliminary precautions needs to be taken before start analyzing the before start coming to the conclusion of your entire work. So several precautions are there. I'll go one by one. If any questions, you can post your questions in the chat window, or also you can ask me. Fine, or you can raise your hand also. Whether the presentation is visible to you?
No, sir.
Now?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Now? Yes or no?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No.
No, sir.
Ab?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes. Okay. So precautions in interpretation. How was the class? Research design. Sir was taken right, engaged for 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good, sir.
It
Yes,
was
sir.
good, right?
Good.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Yeah, yeah. Fine. Thank you. Fine. So if the data are properly collected and analyzed, wrong interpretation would lead to inaccurate conclusion. Very important, interpretation means you are fetching the meaning of your entire research, what you've done so far, carried out so far from beginning to end of the research. If absolutely essential that the task of interpretation be accomplished with patience in an impartial manner and also in correct perspective. When you do with the interpretation, you should not be hurry in the interpretation part. You should be very calm enough thinking. There is no prejudice mindset you require to sit in front of the interpretation when you are doing with the interpretation work. So interpretation always needs you should be very calm. You should be very clear. Only focus on the research which you carried out rather than whatever you have in your mind. Don't try to mix up with the interpretation type. So that's a correct perspective is very much needed for interpretation. Okay, don't be hurry is one precaution. So don't have a prejudice mind with the existing result of interpretation. The third requirement is be patience while interpreting the research analysis. The next precaution needs to be is researcher must pay attention to the following points for correct interpretation. If required, please note it down. At the outside, researcher must invariably satisfy himself. See here, because you selected your work, you are passionate about your work, you selected your research topic, you done some literature, So you collected the data with respect to the hypothesis you defined. So you done the data analysis, you done the interpretation, everything you are going to do. First of all, before presenting the content to the someone or the guide of you, instead of you must be very satisfied with the research work. Then the others is going to be get satisfaction about your research carried out so far. So researcher must invariably satisfy himself. The one is data are appropriate, trustworthy, adequate for drawing inferences. Whatever you collected the data and whatever you are obtaining the result of the data, result of the expression, so that should be appropriate. How you come to know this is this is appropriate and all? By doing the testing hypothesis and all, by doing the analysis of your data and all. So how it is trustworthy? Trustworthy, when you tell it is trustworthy, when you comparing your data analysis with the existing study of the work, so you are able to produce, yours is unique, then you can say it is a trustworthy and adequate for drawing inferences. So, inferences is done based on the appropriate data you collected and the trustworthy information about the researchers. The second is the data reflect good homogeneity. So the data reflect good homogeneity means if you repeat the same experiment with the same set or the other set of the data, so if your research is going to give the same output, then it is said to be a homogeneity. So and proper analysis has been done through statistical methods. So one more hour is going to be engaged by the Bhushan sir with respect to the sampling theory. Probably down the line, the next week, he is going to engage about that. So there some statistics methods are used for the proper analysis of your research output. So the precaution is what and all you need to take the precaution. The data should be appropriate, trustworthy, adequate for drawing inferences, good reflection of the homogeneity of the data, then proper analysis you need to be carried out rather than just whatever you have the knowledge, not the like that. With respect to the result of your research, you need to be carry out the analysis. The second one is the researcher must remain cautious about the errors that can possibly arise in the process of interpreting results. Since if the extraneous variables, if they are affecting on your research, if you are unable to identify such extraneous variables, definitely your research is going out of the order. So you are required to be notice the such kind of the error which is impact on your research work. So you should be very cautious about such kind of the errors while interpreting. So if you give up those kind of the errors in the interpretation, the research may end up with something else which you are not expected, right? So there is no it is called as improper interpretation. So you must be very cautious and curious about the extraneous variable which impact on your research work. Errors can arise due to false generalization and are due to wrong interpretation of statistical measures. So there is a possibility of errors. It leads to a generalization. Usually the most of the research are trying to generalize by conducting the same research with different data sets. Might be sometimes same data set, it will end up with the same outcome. Then you can create a generalization of those concepts. So if you are not observing the errors that could arise in between, so you will end up with the false generalization of that research work. So that is termed as wrong interpretation of statistical measures, such as the applications of findings beyond the range of observations, identification of correlation with causation and the like. So if you identify the 2 to 3 variables for your research work, you need to be correlate one variable is somehow it is related with the another variable. As I said, y equal to x, y equal to x. X is a independent variable, y is a dependent variable. How you correlated y equal to x? When x equal to some value, y also a same value. So somehow x and y is related with some way. So that correlation you need to be identify it properly, and the effect of that equation that is going to be happen on to your work and similar like that. So another major pitfall is the tendency to affirm that definite relationship exists on the basis of confirmation of the particular hypothesis. So where we are failing actually is when we are defining relationship. So y equal to f of x. What is f of x? Again, you need to be exclusively define it properly. What is f of x? F of x may be a sine square by 2. So maybe some other equation x square plus y square plus 2ab. F of x, what is the f of x? You need to be exclusively defined and you need to be exclusively correlate them along with the dependent and independent variables. This is the another precaution we need to take is you must be very cautious in error introduction. If you are ignoring the errors which is during the interpretation of the results, there is a possibility of false generalization or wrong interpretation of statistical measures. So, and another pitfall mainly the researcher is ignoring is the relationship, any relationship existing with respect to the different set of variables. If you are unable to identify them properly, then the interpretation is end up with something else. Okay, and in fact the positive test results accepting the hypothesis must be interpreted as being in accord with the hypothesis rather than as confirming the validity of the hypothesis. So if positive test results, positive means nothing but a positive negative, not like that. Positive is nothing but what you have expected from that research work, what you are obtaining from your research. If it matches both, then you can treat it as a positive. Otherwise, if it deviates from your expectation, then there is an error in introduction with respect to the research work, or if totally it is deviated, you can treat it as a negative. Right. So usually you should not come to the conclusion that whatever you do interpretation it is right, right. But you should be aware as a researcher. You yourself should be aware the interpretation of the hypothesis rather than coming to the confirming the validity of the hypothesis. Just you do with the hypothesis. The researcher must remain vigilant about all such things so that false generalization may not take place. The researcher must be vigilant, means be curious about such kind of the effect which is happening on the research. If you are unable to identify or improper interpretation happens, your research will end up with the false generalization. You should be very careful in identifying those relationships, hypothesis testing, accepting or rejecting, etc. and so on. You need to be very cautious about the thing. The researcher he should be well equipped with and must know the correct use of statistical measures for drawing inferences concerning his study. This is very important, statistical measures. So which mathematical equations are helpful for drawing the inferences of your results which you obtain from your outcome of the research work, right? So if instead of suppose trigonometry might be helpful for your research if you are trying to use the some other concept of mathematics like finance, then it is very different. Two mathematical models are used. In that case, you will end up with the tragedy rather than the so, rather than obtaining the proper interpretation. Then the third precaution needs to be the researcher must always keep in view that the task of interpretation is very much intertwined with analysis and cannot be distinctly separated. So as I said, research is a process. Research is a process from the identification of problem to literature review to the data collection to data analysis to inference to the report writing. So this is the sequence you need to be followed. One after the another, there should be a connectivity between the one process to the another, one phases to the another phase in the research work. So if there is no connectivity between the one chapter to another chapter, then it is very difficult to obtain the proper interpretation about the research work done so far from beginning to till end. So the another thing the researcher has to be very curious that he has to be intertwined like lock. There should be a lock between the one stage phase of research. Suppose if you define the problem statement hypothesis, if you are defining the hypothesis problem statement, there should be a connectivity between the hypothesis statement and the problem definition. If there is no connection, means hypotheses are different, problem statement is different, some data is different. So that is, it is not called as a research. It is just called a data collection. Okay, so researcher must be very careful about connecting the phases to phases, process to process, chapter to chapter. As such, the researcher must take the task of interpretation as a special aspect of analysis and accordingly must take all those precautions that one usually observes while going through the process of analysis. So, for example, precautions concerning the reliability of data, computational checks, validation and comparison of results. So you should be very careful about concerning the reliability of data, what you collected the data, whether that data is reliable or not. So whether it is useful for your interpretation or not, you must be very careful in collecting the data. Then computational checks, whether you are implementing through simulation or you are implementing in real time, or if any computational like looping construct, if any deviations are there, you need to be very careful in using them in your research implementation. So validation. So if suppose in the computational, so you need to be careful about the exception handling. So if you are unable to handle the exception like any number divided by 0, it leads to infinity, or the entire circuit may going to break down. You must be very careful. If you reaches such kind of the conditions, you need to be redirect that control to the workable statements. So because you cannot expect when the such kind of errors happen in your in the real time process. So you need to be done the validation content concept also, and comparison of results. So how do you say your research is better than some other when you compare your result with some others research work? Then if earlier research work they might achieve the 60% of efficiency, if you are able to achieve 60.5, 61% or 60.5%, you can say and compare the result that mine is little better, point 0.5, point 0.5 value, it is an improvised version of the current study, previous study. Then you can say mine is better than the others' work. So comparison of results also needed. So in these cases, you cannot blindly say that mine is better than him or her work without observing the reliability of data, without going through the computational, all those things. Without that, you cannot come to the conclusion that mine is always better than the other results. So statistical tools are needed to measure your improvement of your research work with the others. And the fourth precautions with respect to the interpretation is never lose sight of the fact. This is very important, because if you lose the interest of your work of the research, again it will end up with something else. If you are not properly doing the observations of relevant occurrences, then that will end up with something else, right? So never lose sight of the fact that his task is not only to make sensitive observations of relevant occurrences, but also to identify and disengage the factors that are initially hidden to the eye. So in the eye means here knowledge eye. It is not just what we are seeing outside the world. Knowledge eye. To your knowledge eye, some may be, if you are, you may not perceive some of the content in your research blindly. Through that, by experience and literature and in-depth review of your experimental works, then you will be able to understand the natural phenomena. In that case, if anything which is hidden from your knowledge eye, if you are unable to identify initially, so later if you identify them, again you need to start the revise your works after identification of that natural phenomenon, right? So not only just observation, sensitive observation, but also what you require, you need to identify, disengage the factor that are initially hidden, disengage the factor. Here the disengage means whatever you have the idea previously which you are unable to identify through your knowledge, again you need to identify and you need to carry out your interpretation further. Okay, this will enable the researcher to do his job of interpretation on proper lines. So why the people needs to carry out the research? So research mastery in a particular area, master in a particular knowledge area. So when you are able to identify through your knowledge eye what exactly you want, what exactly you require, that will that will simplify to job of interpretation. So it will take you in a proper direction. See, broad generalization should be avoided, as most research is not amenable to it because the coverage may be restricted to a particular time. So as we all aware that research has time limitation, research has money bounded, research has boundary scope will be there. So if you are trying to generalize this, what I am going to create, my product is very much useful for all kind of people in this world, it is a too broad. So for example, mobile phone, take the mobile phone, the product of the research outcome is mobile phone. My mobile phone is very much useful for entire world. No people are living without my mobile phone is a general statement. You should not go this beyond that. You can restrict that the product mobile phone that is going to be used by the people who is a blind people, who is a blind, they want to make use of my mobile phone, who has a blind or partial blind of people can So the scope you need to be exclusively defined rather than going with broad generalization kind of things. Because every research has its own time limitations and area and the conditions. There is always conditions in our research work. Such restrictions must invariably be specified and results must be framed within their limits. With respect to the time and cost limit, timeline of your research work, it is limited that you must be very clear about the research process, what you are going to carry out. So during interpretation also it helps you because behind the timeline, you cannot inference the results of, yeah, my suppose if you carried out some good thing in your research, you can interpret that one as of now, today's time. Tomorrow if you're going trying to interpret the same result, it may be suitable for the word or it may not. Tomorrow means down the line of 5 years, 10 years, if the same research may be may or may not fit to the real world applications. Getting? So everything is its own time limits. And the fifth precaution while interpretation is, ideally in the course of a research study, there should be constant interaction between initial hypothesis, empirical observation, and theoretical concepts. The researcher must remember that ideally in the course of a research study, there should be constant interaction between initial hypothesis, what you are defining initially, that hypothesis, empirical observation based on the data collection and the experimentation, this hypothesis what you define, and the experimental study what you are carrying out, there should be a connection, intertwined connection between hypothesis, empirical study, and theoretical concept. Any theories which you are going to use for your research work, there should be a some or the other way, there should be a relationship between these three processes. It is exactly in this area of interaction between theoretical orientation and empirical observation that opportunities for originality and creativity lie. So very, now we are almost reaching to the almost means reaching to the manifestations like satisfaction, self-satisfaction. In that case, which is the originality of work, which is the creativity, all such kind of things you are going to understand and you are going to enjoy such a research process. So the researcher pays special attention to this aspect while engaged in the task of interpretation. So interpretation's role is majority, most important role. How you are interpreting, what is the definitions, what is the abbreviations, which the flow chart, which is the architecture, which is the simulation, what is the tool used, which the technology is used, if any other algorithms are used, any methodology is adopted, any timelines are followed. See, all those kind of things, all the things are interconnected and consistent effort needs to be added to get a beautiful outcome of your research work. So all these things we are going to learn in our research process. So interpretation will end up with the nice interpretation. Okay, so these are all the 5 different research precautions to be followed while interpreting the research work. Now, after interpretation is being done by us, yes, what is the next stage of the research process is final stage. This is the final stage of the research process is report writing. Yes, you are very intelligent and talented and knowledgeable and master in all process, but if you are unable to present the content and trying to unable to make the audience to be understand, unable, In that case, your research may fail in reaching the general public. In that case, you won't get a good value from them. So that's why report writing is a very, 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 very important step in producing the research outputs. So usually the research report writing is in the form of the documentation part. Some of the significance we are going to discuss now. Okay, so research report is considered a major component of the research study. For the research task remains incomplete till the report has been presented and are written. So until unless your research is going to be end only when you submit the report, when you submit the thesis, when you submit the presentation, when you submit your work to a journal publication. So journal publications will review your work being carried out since beginning of your work. So that work is going to be measured. So you are going to get lot of benefit from the that research work. The purpose of research is not well served unless the findings are made known to others. So if your research is not known to others, then you are not going to be recognized in terms of monetary benefit, in terms of positions, in terms of promotions, in terms of in terms of laurels, etc., and so on. Right. So you should be made available others to know about your research through the one channel is report writing. Research results must invariably enter the general store of knowledge. Research results must invariably enter the general store of knowledge. Then, as a matter of fact, even the most brilliant hypothesis, if it is a most brilliant hypothesis, highly well designed and conducted research study, and the most striking generalizations and findings are of little value, very important stage this one, little value unless they are effectively communicated to others. Even though if your work is very unique among the other researchers, your methodology is very efficient, your approach is very impressive, and it is striking to generalization of the research, until unless if you are not able to understand, making others to understand your research work, you will not get significance about your research. So until unless if you are effectively communicated to others, you won't going to recognize. So report writing is also very, very important step in the research process, and this is the last step of your research process. All this explains the significance of research report. So these points are explaining what is the importance of writing the research report for the research work. So writing of the report is the last step in the research study and requires a set of skills somewhat different from those called for in respect of earlier stages of research. So the one more important point I needs to be discussed here, that if suppose if you are very poor in writing the statement in English, suppose if you want to improve yourself, how to improve? So by writing the research articles, it will improve your knowledge of interpretation of the statements, writing the statement, and also it improves the grammatical user, proper grammatical uses of the statement while by practicing of writing the reports, research reports, right? So this is the last step in the research study. what skills it needs. You should be very good enough in writing the simple statements in the research reports. This task should be accomplished by the researcher with utmost care. He may seek the assistance and guidance of experts for the purpose. So, if he is unable to, suppose if you are written the statement of your own, it may end up with the plagiarized content. Sometimes you may refer some of the articles based on their ideas. You may be rewritten also. Some articles may be used those statements. Then in that case, you will get plagiarized. So to improve yourself in report writing, you can take the help of the research guides or the experts in the English. Different, these are the some of the different steps in writing the report. There are almost 6 steps are involved in writing the reports. One is logical analysis of the subject matter. Subject matter is, for example, traffic, reduction of the traffic congestion in the automobile, or on the roads. So the subject is the traffic congestion on the roads. Subject matter analysis, logical analysis. So why you have taken up that problem? What was the motivation behind that problem? You need to explain in your own words in a common, simple, simple, and it should be understandable by the normal readers also. Okay, such logical analysis of that subject matter, why you taken up, you need to give the in the introduction of that introduction chapter of that report. You must be very clearly written to make the reader to get the interest to continue reading in your reports. The second step is preparation of the final outline. So you need not to, in the beginning itself, need not to check every line of the plagiarism you are going to get. Plagiarism may take, so once the report is ready, plagiarism may take, then you can go with then you can go with the plagiarism check. Once the entire report is ready, preparation including of the tables, figures, captions, if any acronyms is present, any keywords are present, methodology defined, flow of the work, objectives you identified, results and discussions if you made, after conclusion, references, acknowledgement, if anything anything else which is to be included in the report, you keep writing all the content in a single document, and you prepare a final outline of that project or the research report. Then the third stage of that is preparation of the rough draft. Draft should be ready. Once that rough draft is ready, then you go for the plagiarism check. If any plagiarized content more than the 25% of your work, if any plagiarism contents are there, you need to be re-looked without missing the link between chapter to chapter. That is also very important. While changing the statement in the plagiarized content, you must be keep a connection between the chapter to chapter. How you did in your research process, from defining problem statement to till report writing, there is a process involved in this connecting process is involved. The same thing you need to be maintained in your report correction also. So sometimes if you replace the current statement with some other statement, it may end up with some other meaning. Then the reader will get a confusion in between. So that's why you must be very careful in rewriting the statement when you get them plagiarized. Rewriting and polishing is required. During the polishing stage, you don't miss out the meaning of your research work. Rewriting, when it is happens rewriting, when content or the statement or the paragraph is plagiarized, in that case you need to be rewritten of your research report statement. And polishing some, it is not always needed. Polishing needs little importance in the research, because if you are trying to polish like by adding the adjectives and by adding the adverbs, if you are start polishing, maybe it deviates the reader's understanding. So be careful in rewriting the statements of your report. And the preparation of the final bibliography. So the bibliography is most important, because whatever we do carry out the research work, it is not just by our own, every entire thing is our own, but the what we refer the references, it might be we might somehow we refer some textbooks, we might read some content from the magazines, articles, journal publications. All those references we need to be mentioned properly in the bibliography section. So textbooks are written, so written by so and so author, publication, who has done that publication, edition of the textbook, publisher, year of publication, all such information you need to be included. In case of journal papers, authors, title of the paper, page numbers, then ISBN or ISSN number, digital object identifier DOI number, then publication, who has done that publication, year of the publication, page numbers in that proceedings, etc. and so on. You need to exclusively specify those journal references. If any other material like web links, you need to exclusively refer the exact web links you refer, rather than just www.google.com. Instead of mentioning that google.com, in that google.com, suppose if you refer traffic congestion, suppose if you refer IEEE slash IEEE, some accurate web links you need to be exclusively specified in the bibliography section. And the writing the final draft, the last stage of the report is final draft. After doing all the corrections in the report, so you are going to get the final draft. Once the final draft is ready, then you can go for, after approval of the research supervision or the research guide, you need to be go for final binding. Till that, you need to be wait for the approval of the guide. Okay, these are the steps involved in report writing. Any questions are there? I hope I made you clear.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So, logical analysis of the subject matter. What I discussed there in detail, it is explained here. Logical analysis of the subject matter. So, in the report, that's the first stage. Logical analysis of the first subject matter. That is primarily concerned with development of a subject. There are two ways. One is logical manner, and another one is chronological manner. So logical manner is that basis of mental connections and association between the one thing and another by means of analysis. So logical treatment often consists in developing the material from the simple possible to the most complex structures. So a logical manner means with respect to the technical touch in the report writing. For example, abstract. Might be you observed in the technical paper like journal. Usually that is in the logical fashion. Abstract. Usually abstract, you are going to write the abstract actually at the after ending your research work. But that abstract you are going to write in the beginning of the journal, because this is logically by because the new researcher, if he want to carry out the research, instead of going to read all the content of a research paper, because this life is not enough to read all papers in this research field. So that's why abstract, which will give the gist of entire work carried out by the researcher in a short form, not more than 200 words. By reading the abstract, you will able to understand whether this paper is relevant to my research work or not. You are able to come to know that. Such kind of abstract, then followed by some of the keywords which will be used throughout that paper journal, and then followed by the introduction. It's a logically they are designed, logically they are maintained in the journal publication. So abstract, keywords, introduction, existing work, proposed work, problem statement identified, problem gap identified, methodologies are used. All those things is connected between one connection, one top chapter is connected with another chapter till it reaches the conclusion phase. Right, that is logical writing. The second one is chronological, means with respect to the timeline or occurrence. For example, usually your synapse in the beginning itself, you are writing the synapse, even the synapsis follows the logical sequence. Also, with respect to the timeline, currently what you are going to write is existing work, the proposed work, and some of the tools or the things you are going to use, and some draft conclusion you are going to write. So chronological development is nothing but it's a connection or sequence in time or occurrence. So directions for doing or making something usually follow the chronological order. Right. So chronological, usually in the beginning of the research, you are drafting the reports, right? I want to do this one, action plans. I want to do this one first, second one, third one, etc. and so on. In that chronologically, we are going to sequencing those steps in the report writing. So, preparation of the second phase of this one is preparation of final outline. It is the next step in writing the research report. Outlines are the framework upon which long written works are constructed. For example, if you ask you to write, draw the circle. So most of you are trying to draw the circle immediately. So, but they may end up with egg shape or oval shape. What I expected is draw the circle. So a few students are going to outline the circle using pen or pencil, or by using their bangles. Then they are trying to draw the circle. So similarly, instead rather than directly start writing the report, first you do outlining, which one comes first, which one comes second, etc. and so on. Then you start editing the report. Then there an aid to logical organization of the material and a reminder of the points to be stressed in the report. Point to be stressed in the report is existing work and proposed work, methodology used. These three are very key points in the research. Whenever the reviewer is going to re-look into your research paper, they will look into your abstract part, they will look into the methodology which you used, they will look into the conclusion. By looking into these three, they will decide whether you've done this work or copied somewhere, taken from someone else. They will come to the conclusion by reading these three key paragraphs. The third step of report writing is preparation of the rough draft. So again, a step is of utmost importance for the researcher. Now sits to write down what he has done in the context of his research study. With respect to your research study, you start writing the content. Then the researcher will write down the procedure adopted by him, that is methodology which he has followed, collecting the material, how he has collected the material, data collection, how he has done, whether he used different survey methods, etc. and so on. and what was the limitation followed faced by him while carry outing those research. All those things he is going to started explaining the broad findings and the generation and the various suggestions he wants to offer regarding the problem concerned is also he started writing in the rough draft. His rough draft is not final. It is keep on whatever you face, positive, negative, limitation, precautions, whatever you faced in the research page, all those content is going to be simply dubbed in the form of rough draft. Rewriting and polishing of the rough draft. So why when rewriting is needed? When there is a deviation in the meaning of your research statements. So the steps happens to be most difficult part of all formal writing. Usually this step requires more time than the writing of the rough draft. Usually rough sketches are less time consuming. When you draw the main drawing, obviously it will take little more time compared to your rough draft. Similarly, in this case of report writing, this is the most difficult step of formal writing because it should require to be followed the grammatical statements. There should not be any deviations in the research process you carried out. The meaning should be accurate, relevant to the research work. You need to look into all these parameters. Okay, the careful revision makes the difference between a mediocre and a good piece of writing. While rewriting and polishing, you should check the report for weaknesses in logical development or presentation. So very crucial part of polishing part, as I said, while going with polishing part, try to avoid this polishing, but try to hold the meaning of the original work carried out rather than just polishing the content like what I done so etc and so on. The researcher should also see whether or not the material as it is presented as unity and cohesion. Does the report stand upright and firm and exhibit a definite pattern? Whether whether it is following the pattern given by the university or the given by the guide, whether it follows or not, you need to exclusively check that one. If you submit that report, it should not be rejected by the university for again corrections and all. Otherwise, it will end up with again repetitive corrections and repetitive cost is also involved in that. In addition, the researcher should give due attention to the fact that in his rough draft, he has been consistent or not. He frequently has to check the report writing whether he is consistently following the logical sequence or not he needs. So he should check the mechanics of writing, grammar, spelling, and uses. Very important is you need to be check the grammar. Sometimes technical papers might has less importance of grammar because usually technical paper how you are writing is in the present tense is you are going to use rather than future or the past tense. So is going to use grammarly. Sometimes if you are using was or were or something, past tense or the future tense will means again you are going to carry out that work in the future things. That is, if you want to write the future enhancement kind of thing, you can put the content in future tense. If you are already worked, being done or undergoing, and usually you are presenting is and so already done by someone was you can use or is also you can use because that research is validated research. In such validated research you can use the present tense. Getting? So very little difficult stage of report writing is rewriting and polishing. Then preparation of the final biography, as I said, bibliography is generally appended to the research report. Usually some list of books will be there, some list of the books will be there. some pertinent to the research which has been done. So some researchers also written in the form of articles also will be there as a bibliography part, and some appendices will be there, means appendix additional contents which may not directly connected with the research work. By understanding those the concept, you can easily carry out the research. For example, if you are developing an application in a mobile development, what is the basic stuff you need to understand? Uses of mobile, how the uses of mobile. If you are writing an article, you can put it in an appendix mode. So additional material which may not directly related to the research, but that is helpful to make the new researcher to understand your work. Such kind of things you can put it in the bibliography. Usually the bibliography is arranged according to the Kothari textbook. Bibliography is arranged into two parts. The one is the first part is names of books and pamphlets. The second part is names of magazine and newspaper articles according to him, right? So the entries in bibliography should be made adopting the following order. So for example, if you are referred any one of the textbook which you used in your research work, how you can write that as a reference in the bibliography is, for example, the steps to be followed is, first you need to include name of the author and last name and first name. Then title underlined to indicate the italics, place, publisher and date of publication and number of volumes. For example, suppose I refer Kothari CR is the name of the author. Quantitative techniques is the title of the book. Place is New Delhi. Place is New Delhi. Publisher is Vikas Publishing House. And date of publication is year of publication. Either you mention, if you don't know about the date, you can mention the year of publication. Number of volumes, suppose some books are volume bounded, you can use volume 1, 2, 3, etc. If the books does not have any volume, you can give up that fourth number of volumes. Okay, we will continue about the report writing. It is very important and interesting also. Some of the, with the help of the example, I'm going to explain a few more things. Okay, any questions are there? I think I made you understand today what and all we discussed: interpretation precautions and the report writing steps, right?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
I think I made you understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.